Hello, hello. We are winding down the end of our Next Step Nugget series. So, little nuggets that help you take the next step in your business. So, hopefully, if you followed along with our Silver and Seven, you have learned some of the skills that it takes to get your first three people. Maybe you've gotten them, maybe you haven't yet. That's okay. There's never an expiration date or point on your business. And in our Next Step Nugget series, we really talked about the building blocks that allow you to continue to have a business. So sometimes it's easy for our first few people to be able to say, hey, like my mom, my sister, my best friend, my cousin, my neighbor, the people really close to us that we're able to say, hey, this is what I'm doing and I would love for you to do it with me, right? And then, like we talked about on day one, I believe, of our Next Step Nugget series, we find ourselves at a place that we're like, well, now what do I do? And that was the purpose of this Next Step Nuggets, the little nuggets to help you build the next steps in your business. So the goal of this series was really to give you the skills and mindset shifts to really be able to build a business that lasts, to build a sustaining business where you have a platform to be able to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how it's impacted me. This is how it could impact you. Have people coming to you for Plexus to learn the skills of how to reach out to other people about Plexus. And then, like we talked about yesterday, to follow up with those people. Follow up is essential. A little statistic I don't think I shared yesterday is it usually takes 8 to 12 times for someone to have a touch with something in order to make that buying decision. So you think of something like a brand that you would see on a commercial or set up on a display like an end cap at the grocery store. Every time they see it, that can be considered a touch, right? So with Plexus, it's a little different. Those touches are coming from us. So that's why follow-up is so important. So what I'm going to talk about today is once you are, and I don't want to say mastered because I'm 8.5 years in and I certainly have not mastered. So you are always growing, you're always improving, you're always expanding your network and working on those skills and becoming better in each area, right? But once you have the concept of these are the pockets of things that I need to work on, something absolutely huge that is a must-have in your business journey is you need to know why you're doing this. And that's what I want to talk about today. It's very easy to, when things are going great and people are signing up, to be like, this is amazing. This is so exciting. It feels life-giving to know that you're helping other people and in return, your finances are being blessed, right? But what happens when you feel like for any amount of time, maybe it's a day, maybe it's a week, maybe it's 2 months, where you feel like all the people that you thought would join you, they're all telling you no. You're not getting a lot of traction on your social media posts. You're not hitting the goals that you wanted to hit. And then you find yourself and you're like, this just isn't for me. Like, I'm not good at this. I knew I wasn't going to be good at this. I'm not a salesperson. And all the trash starts coming in our head, right? We know that mindset is extremely important and we have to work on our mindset, right? We also know that if we quit, we can never succeed. So what I want to talk about today is why are you doing this business? Because that is what will keep you going when you hit the discouraging times until you come back up to an encouraging time. Any business in life is going to have ups and downs. Any venture in life is going to have ups and downs. For sure, your network marketing business, your Plexus business is going to have ups and downs. So you need to have and know in your mind and in your heart what the reason is that you're doing this business so that in those downs, you're willing to stick it out. You're willing to keep going. You're willing to not just sit on your bum until something happens because nothing's going to happen if you're not doing action, right? But you're willing to keep doing the actions, to keep posting, to keep reaching out, to keep following up, to keep working on yourself, to become the best version of who you are so that you can reach those highs again in your business or maybe for the first time. So asking yourself, why am I really doing this? So some examples of a why on the practical top level, right, is money, right? We're usually doing this for money, but I want to challenge you to think a little bit deeper. What is that money going to give you? What is that money going to provide for you that matters? It is easy when we might know, okay, I need X amount of dollars to quit my job and I would love to quit my job. But if that's as far as we take it, that doesn't really impact us. Dollars are not emotional, right? I want you guys to think about the emotion behind why you're doing this. What are those dollars going to provide? Are those dollars going to provide you when your child says, hey, I want to play soccer, that you can say, yes, let's go play soccer, instead of having to say, no, sweetie, we can't afford that right now. Like, think about those emotions. is this income going to provide you the opportunity to stay home with your child or to take your family on vacation or to pay your bills? Because, guys, that's important, right? So I want you to think about the emotions behind what happened if you don't build this business, if you don't reach those goals. And I want you to think about the emotions behind what happens when you do achieve those goals, when you are able to provide for your child to have a private education, if that's a goal, if you are able to provide for your child to go to a school that they have their special education needs met, or you're able to provide, fill in the blank, whatever it is, that thing that is weighing heavy on you in the financial area. Connect yourself to those emotions and really determine what is your why in this business. I'm going to challenge you today to write it down. This is the reason I am doing this Plexus business, to write it down. And a lot of times it's more than just one thing, right? There might be one. My very first thing was if I could pay for my son's preschool, that would be amazing for our family. And that was my very first goal. And within 2 months, I was like, you know what? I think I may have underestimated what this Plexus business could bring us. And I began to really dream and think about what really could this business be. And my why began to grow to a place of for this business to provide for us financially so that my husband and I could say yes to any ministry opportunity that the Lord was calling us to without having to stress the finances. And that is where we are now. And I have had to reevaluate now. Okay, now what is my why? Now why am I continuing to grow? Because when your why is met, it's easy to get complacent. And it's easy to be like, well, if I don't grow, that's okay. Right? So I want to challenge you, regardless of where you're at in your business, if you're in the very beginning or if you're further along, to think about why are you doing this? And does that compel you to buckle down and do the hard things? Because guys, you can do this. You can accomplish what you are setting out to accomplish. And you just need some safeguards in place to help keep your mind focused, to keep your mindset in the right place, to continue doing the skills. So tomorrow we are going to wrap up our series, and I have a specific sheet that you can look at and be like, hey, these are the tasks and the activities that I need to be doing on a daily basis to build my business to achieve my goals. So today, look forward for that tomorrow. Today, your assignment is to think through, why are you doing this and why do you need to make this happen? So that when you have a hard day, you can look and be like, you know what? It's worth it to be able to do this or say this to my child, to my spouse, to my family, for myself, so that you can accomplish your goals. So have an awesome day, and you guys are doing awesome.